Alright. Hey guys, B.O.L.T here. Gotta make this quick because I gotta go to work if you can see. Um, so before we start, this is gonna be a summary slash theory um on the news chapter 2 of Hobby Playtime. I don't know if I did chapter 1 yet. We'll title it different if I didn't. Um, Before we do, I just realized going back on JoJo, every JoJo but Joseph, I mean, technically Joseph does, but all of them have daddy issues. George didn't believe Jonathan, both Jonathan and George the second are dead by the time Joseph is born. Well, well, by the time he grows up, that is. Um, Jotaro's dad is off somewhere. Uh, Josuke, uh, Joseph ran away. Um, Giorno, Gio, and then of course his stepfather's being terrible to him, and then Jolene, Jotaro's got the dolphins. But anyways, I gotta hurry up because I'm running out of time here. So basically, where an employee gets sent a package. There's one a tape based on the Playtime Co and all that, and it goes over the commercial of Poppy, the talking and communicating doll. Um, and then it shows a poppy flower, crossbeam walk, and like a lot of catwalks, and to go find them, and it's just basically a letter that was making look like it's a kidnap letter, but it basically says that all the employees um, have went disappearing, and they need to be found, but they're still there. So your next employee goes back to Playtime Co. Um, and it's already like everything's kind of already weird. There's missing toys. There's a few toys that are just been destroyed. There's a few toys that have somehow looking something like blood around them. Um, so basically, you got to go find the code on this train that's color coded. Go unlock a door. Get a grab pack. There's a tape that introduces the grab pack. There's a tape in the main hall, main introduction, um, that goes over the security, and it is Leith Paya, who's the head of innovation, and I think he's like the inventor of all the toys. And he does say that there is a more aggressive security system. Um, and and I do know there's a few characters that I can't name off, like Candy Cat. Um, there's the what is it? I think Huggy Wuggy, Kissy Missy, Boogie Bot. There's a bee cat. There's a dinosaur. I forgot his name. Brontosaurus. And I think Brock was his name. Um, but anyways, you go down. After you get the grab pack, you go in. You go into this hall that has a giant Huggy Wuggy. You go looking for a key, but it happens to be in Huggy Wuggy's hand. Um, you go into the back stock and you find the red side of the grab pack, um, which is basically just a helper's like it can carry stuff for you, and it makes it without us having to carry all the stuff. Um, then let's see here. Um, After the grab pack, also there's a tape that reveals that some of the workers are unhappy because they also donate toys to orphans, but they also have missing toys apparently. um, and then after that you gotta turn on the power. No, wait. I, I think it's turn on the power. He isn't there. You go get the other arm. You go through a whole bunch of ventilation and stuff. Trying to think all the tapes. And you do find yourself at like the toy making machine. That weirdly has like even when it's shut off, the eyes follow you. Um, so it just makes you think on top of the blood and the talking dolls and these things that can follow you, that they've made the ability to make things sentient. Um, I'm not even into chapter 2 yet, but after basically learning all, like going through all the stuff and making your own bee cat toy, you open the hallway back to the main area. You find Huggy Wuggy, but before we do that, I did forget a few tapes. Uh, oh boy, let's see. I went over to Leaf Beer. I went over to the employees. I know there's a female that got interviewed and she basically wanted to be a kid again. Um, but she wanted to provide toys to kids because there's a universe you make when you have toys. Um, and then I'm trying to think the last. There was another one. Um, whew. We'll just move on, anyways. We learn of the security. I believe, um, little spoilers from chapter 2 is Huggy Wuggy is an experiment. Apparently, they've been experimenting on all these toys to make them sentient. And I gotta hurry this up. And Huggy Wuggy, on one of the documents, is the most. He listens the most. He's the most. I forgot what they said. Um, he's the most compliant of the experiments, which means him giving the key probably to what he thought was an employee. Um, but then when he realized that we are not a employee anymore, he went in security mode, which Leaf Pierre did say they have a security system that I suggest you leave before I let it happen. And it's basically Huggy Wuggy that can devour you. Um, he's the more tame of the experiments. Basically, after doing a run section, you have him drop down to his death. Um, you go off. You find the catwalks from the video. You find another video that explains the experiments, and that one of them is more that they're more aggressive, and we don't know what experiment it is. Everyone thought it was Huggy Wuggy, but thing is, the fact that he said a number, I need to go back, and I'll put in the description if it was, but we're given numbers of the experiment. Um, But anyways, um, we find other hanged toys. We go back and find Poppy and start chapter 2. And basically, we get knocked out or something. Poppy has us wake up. We get shown a commercial for um, Mommy Long Legs, which is basically just like uh, the Stretch Armstrong, I think it is, of this universe, which is basically just like a thin Barbie toy that has like those like extendable little metal pieces that extend. Um, anyways, Poppy wakes us up. We go around looking for her. We find Edward, um, Ludwig's office, which is the creator of Funtime Co. and the founder. We find her. She gives us run around. There's also golden statues in this chapter, and there's a recycling like flower statue in the office. I am going to be playing chapter 2 when I have the money. Um, anyway, there's the office. We find a few of the experiment and also like details along the way. There is tapes in this one. And in the office for Ludwig, it just goes over how he lost someone in the 1960s, and then we're about to say that something happened in 19 blah. Um, let's see. Um, so I went over the golden flower. I went over the tape in there. Um, we get introduced back to the electrical system, um, which is basically one end, two rods, and another end. And trying to remember. We just do what Poppy says. She ends up getting grabbed up by Mommy Longlegs. We drop down, go running around for a little bit, and when we went to go scan our red hand, it gets grabbed, pulled out, and yanked off. And Mommy Longlegs comes down with a taped mouth Poppy, basically saying, I was left here for the longest time. I want to have some fun. And if you want to escape here on that train station Poppy's talking about, you're gonna have to play a few games to get the codes to activate it. Um, and she goes over the fact that she'll eat you alive. She'll eat your insides as you're alive. Um, and basically, you go into this train play area, which I believe is a testing facility for children, because it's not like a hey kids, here's a game. Like sure, the Stella from the interview tape, the pink tape from chapter 1, she is the voiceover for it. Um, but the thing is, she's the only one that makes it sound like that. Where I think it was Ludwig or Leaf Pierre go over on the tapes for the separate games. They go over the brain functionality and what it's supposed to test you on, and at the end, instead of saying your round ends or your game ends, it says your test ends. So I believe this is basically they take kids that they see as probably a good functioning either to go into the toys as like souls, and like they can actually do something more functioning better. Um, or there has been a few drawings where they make them that kids have asked to be employees when they grow up, and they may be testing them to do that because there isn't nothing but complaining in the company. We do find a few um, employee tapes, and they have starring roles like Jacksepticeye. And basically, they go over there's a spider creature that's been running around, which I believe isn't Mommy Longlegs. I believe it's this creature that goes ahead and grabs up Mommy's corpse at the end of this. Um, And then, of course, Ludwig goes over it, says, "We are not a monster making company. We are a toy making company," which makes you think, did he even know that the experiments were happening? Which it makes you also, which I know that there's a lot of evidence. Like, for example, one of the first few notes we do get does say that he was setting up a lab with a separate company. And then that they were sworn to secrecy when they created that lab. And then, of course, Leif Pierre is like the head, like scientist, is innovation. Um, and basically, we'll go back to the center, but there is musical memory for Bonzo. Another thing, real quick, is there's buttons on cardboards that make you hear the voice of the character, and a few of them, if you hit them a few times and get their other dialogue, it goes over something like the birthday, which I believe is hinting at the death in Ludwig's family in the 1960s, which might be his daughter, which might be hinting that this birthday is her birthday, um, or your character's birthday. But yeah, Bonzo basically hit it. Simon Says. It breaks and starts creating new buttons and all that and going haywire. Then you get a code, which is of the characters. Then you go to Whack-A-Huggy, which is Whack-A-Mole, but with a different colored Huggies, because you can't just have blue and pink. You have to have red, purple, and yellow. Basically, they come out of these little holes. You're supposed to smack them so they don't get out, because they used to have wires on them to tell them to go back. Um, oh, and Bunzo was like the symbol monkey of the group. I think he's a dog or a rabbit or kangaroo or something. I don't know. Um, oh, there is a golden statue of the train in like the playground area. You can find Bonzo in the reject aisle, which has like Mr. Poops a lot and all that. In like the kick meatball, he's on the top of a box. You have to use a crane to get him. Um, I don't know. I know Mommy Longlegs is during one of the like run around scenes. She's at the very end, but you drop down before her, so you have to stop yourself and grab her. Um, and then see, Huggy Wuggy, I think is on broken stairs. Um, she gets you a code and gives you colors, I believe, the colors of the characters that they have to be. And then, of course, the last thing is statues, which is basically pugs, Pugapillar, which is basically a pug, the dog, and a caterpillar. And basically, it's green light, red light, and he's basically a tagger that if he catches up with you, you lose. But if you move during the lights on, you lose. You have to move during the dark. Um, and there's a tunnel that says hard, I think hard mode, and on the left of the tunnel it gives you the golden Pugapillar statue, but at the end of it you technically break the rules by escaping through a window, because Mommy Longlegs was kept there, left alone to die, and she finds out that you're an employee and that you need to be left to die as well. And after you cheated, she comes after you. Um, you have to run, turn off some fire, and you end up getting her into a grinder kind of situation, and she just gets grinded up and grabbed by a spider-like hand or creature, um, which is it tells you on one of the tapes that they are super intelligent, and they once took out a camera, hidden that camera's blind spot, just have a person get in there. But the second they realized that the experiment was still in there, they closed the door, and sadly, I think it was like the surveillance professional got killed. I'm running out of time. I actually probably am out of time. Yep. Anyways, uh, yeah, basically you run into the train. The last code was numbers, and you got to match the characters, the colors, and the numbers, and the train starts. Um, And basically, Poppy reveals that she's evil. So, anyways, see you guys.